Whether it's getting that first job after graduation or looking for a career change down the road, you might be someone who's trying to figure out which fields are expected to be in high demand. For the third and final part of our employment series, we welcome job expert and president of the Bagg Group, Geoff Bagg. Good morning to you, Geoff. How you doing?
Great to be here, Jeff.
Okay, so we're talking this morning about, what are the hot jobs now, what's going to be hot in the future. So you've broken down 5 of them.
For sure.
We have a board here. One of them is no surprise. That's IT.
Definitely.
So
key areas in IT, everybody's heard about all the security issues, so data security, anti-hacking, anything there is going to be big. And then the other thing that people are talking about these days is cloud computing. And cloud computing creates a lot of opportunities. Everybody looks at the negative, but the positive with it is that you're going to need, obviously, the architects, the engineers, the system designers. So those will be big, but a lot of the relationships between the companies and the cloud computing companies and even the end customers, there'll be a lot of relationship jobs created there also. And of course, anti-hacking too is big.
Okay, now also on your list, so you've got financial services, which is tried and true position,
especially in the Toronto area.
Yeah.
Not just typical financial services, but even looking at the accounting side of things. So financial transparency is huge, and people are going to need auditors, people that can track things. So anything on the financial accounting side of things will be huge. Social
media is another one. And again, I guess that's a little bit into IT, but how are you differentiating social media? I mean, you know what that is? That's LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter.
Anything that can go viral.
Right, but getting a job in that field. How does that work?
So companies are looking at increasing their online presence. There's been a big shift from the traditional media. And so companies want to get themselves out there, and I think getting in, meeting with the companies, and again, having a good value proposition. What can you bring to the table? How can you bring them forward? That's going to get you the job with the organization.
Healthcare is also in there.
For sure. Aging population, it only makes sense. And there's also a lot of financial pressures on the whole healthcare industry. And so maybe you didn't have time to go to medical school, but there'll be a lot of demand for technicians. So I think rather than just creating more doctors, they'll need more technicians that can do diagnostics in that industry.
So it's interesting because we've talked about the IT, we've talked about, the social networking, but skilled laborers is, and I think a lot of kids these days, they don't look at the community college, which does a great job of giving you a specific skill. So what are some of the skilled areas that are maybe lagging that need people?
So in the community colleges, they talk about all of the construction trades, whether it's the plumbing, the electricians, any of those. They're crying for people, and if you can work in those areas, it's huge. I know people that own construction companies, huge companies right now, and they're importing people from all over the world. There's not enough labor
not
here.
Enough tradesmen in these skilled jobs.
Definitely.
Okay, so those are some of the good ones. What are some of the ones that if you're coming out of school or you're looking for a change that you should be avoiding now?
So I think if you want to come out of school and take the easy route and be like the video store sales clerk or whatever.
Yeah, and unfortunately a lot of people have had to do that. But I mean, I know you mentioned there's a lot of young lawyers, there's a lot of young teachers.
For sure. So, it's interesting. Teachers get a bad rap these days with everything that's going on. And let's face it, there is a lot more supply than demand. But if that really is your passion, then there are still places that you can teach, and it may involve leaving the country or going to a private school or whatever. But if that really is your passion, you can't really give that up. But if that's not your passion, I wouldn't go into that. It's a tough area.
Yeah. Is now the time, I mean, if you're established in a position, is it a time now? Is there ever a good time? Is this the time if you want to make a change?
You know what? The best time to look for a job is when you have one. So that's when you're in the best mindset. No, it really is.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah, exactly. And so what advice for people who are looking for this?
So if you are out looking for a job, make sure that you're in the right mindset. That's the area that most people ignore. But if you go out with negativity, that's going to show through, and you'll never get the job that way. So make sure you've got the right mindset. Make sure that your resume is tailored to the job that you're going for. And then when you're asked questions, make sure that you can actually give tangible results. So we use the acronym SIR. Talk about a situation that's relevant for the question, show your initiative, and then explain what the results were. And that will really jam the whole answer into the person's brain.
It's very competitive out there, I know. Geoff Bagg, thanks for this morning.
Appreciate it.
All right, now, what is new at the movies?